what are your perceptions of like traditional and normative narratives in social work where racism kind of creates those narratives, if that makes sense?
Yeah, I think the big one for me is views on parenting. For me, the legislation around what supports children's social work is embedded. The main one's the Children Act 1989, and the concept around that forms our views in when the local authority, as in social workers, should intervene in the life of families. Now, a lot of it is around whether or not we feel as though, or we can evidence that children have suffered significant harm or likely suffer significant harm, or their health and development is likely to be impaired, or the child's disabled, or the child is likely to have an impairment in their health and development unless we provide services. Now, where it gets interesting is how social workers have developed a sense of what is good enough. What is good parenting? What does good parenting look like? Now, how do you judge that and what do you compare it to? A lot of practitioners compare it to their own standard of parenting. Now, bearing in mind, in England, a lot of social workers are white, middle class, and female. So they're often comparing families who, in some cases, do not look like them, do not parent like them, do not have their homes. Some may not even live in homes. Some may even live in trailers. And they're comparing those families to their own standards because of how they parented or how they were parented. So I find a lot of social work practice is very Eurocentric.
Okay.
So I think that's a traditional script for social work. Sort of, it's a model where this is how we parent in the UK. This is how we think good parenting looks like. This is what we think a house should look like. Note I said house, where some families may not have lived in houses, may not live in houses in the UK. They may live in trailers, or they may live in other forms of accommodation.
Right.
And I think that's been a traditional go-to for social workers. And that's kind of fed into our assessments, our practice, and how we work with children and families.
Wow, thank you for that articulation. That was really good. When